Sometimes it only takes one bad role to ruin an actor's career. Sometimes it only takes oneself. In the case of comedian T.J. Miller, it only took one phone call. Back on March 18, 2018, Miller called in a fake bomb threat from an Amtrak train. As the U.S. Attorney for the District of Connecticut wrote, he reported a woman on the train acting suspiciously and believed she had a bomb in her bag. Police wound up storming the train and found nothing. Miller was charged with intentionally conveying to law enforcement false information about an explosive device per CNN, and Connecticut prosecutors later dropped the case and ordered that Miller undergo cognitive remediation instead. By that point in his career, Miller had moved on from his improv comedy roots to film roles in Cloverfield, Deadpool, voice acting in the Emoji Movie, and his most famous role, wacko tech entrepreneur Erlich Bachman in HBO's Silicon Valley. He might not have been a Hollywood A-lister, but he was building his career on relatively solid grounds. That is, aside from the type of reportedly volatile on-set behavior that might have contributed to his character being written out of Silicon Valley. He also had allegations of sexual and physical assault levied at him, which allegedly happened when he was in college in the early aughts. All in all, the fake bomb call was more of a final step that broke Miller's career. On the surface, it's difficult to see what could have led T.J. Miller, or anyone else for that matter, to call in a fake bomb threat. As the U.S. Attorney for the District of Connecticut wrote, Miller had been seen earlier that evening having hostile exchanges with a woman in the Amtrak train's first-class car. Train employees said that Miller had boarded the train drunk, had some drinks while on board, and got kicked off in New York because of it. Meanwhile, Miller stated that he'd had, quote, one glass of red wine up to that point, and when asked if he had a mental illness, he replied, no, absolutely not. However, that's not exactly true. In fact, as Deadline reported, Miller had undergone brain surgery several years prior for an unspecified congenital brain deformity. He learned about this condition in 2010, opted for surgery after suffering a brain hemorrhage and seizures, and had a, quote, golf ball-sized portion of his frontal lobe removed. Thus began his increasingly erratic behavior that culminated in what Miller calls the manic episode that led to him calling in the fake bomb threat. By all accounts, Miller legitimately believed that the lady he called into the police was a threat. Variety states as much, saying that such considerations, plus Miller's mental health history and willingness to pay for the police response to his call, led to his charges being dropped.
I sort of believed that this woman was dangerous, and which translates to other women can be dangerous.
As Miller says, he endured explosive backlash immediately following the fake bomb threat incident. In an interview with The Tea with Dr. V, he said, imagine having thousands of people be like, I hope you die. The human brain is not prepared for that, especially if you have a little less brain. Regarding the time leading up to his crime, he said, I started to go insane, not just chemically but physically. I started to exhibit characteristics of somebody who is losing their mind. Doubtlessly, the fallout to his actions didn't exactly help in this regard. Even only by looking at Miller's IMDb, we can see that his career also took a tremendous hit following the fake bomb threat. He appeared in Deadpool 2 that same year in 2018, but that movie had finished filming prior to the incident. After that, Miller showed up in a couple of small acting and voice roles in TV and film. Other than this, he's been pretty quiet, until recently that is. Miller's actions back in 2018 might have canned his chances at a larger, grander career, but he's once again heavily involved in the stand-up comedy circuit. His 2022 stand-up special, Dear Jonah, and 2024 Denver-based 420 special are both available on YouTube, and his Instagram largely reflects bits from such shows. In 2023, he also embarked on the Gentle Giant Tour across Europe. As of the making of this video, he has shows booked out through June 2025.